Get over here to see. Uh. Should be about to go live shortly. All right. It says that we are live. Believe we're live now.
Yep.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Camcast Radio. I am your host, Cameron Lewis. And tonight is a special episode, not just because of the subject matter, but because I got my boys with me from back in the day when we worked at Blue Cross. Y'all still work there? Both of y'all?
I'm still there. I gotta, be careful what I say tonight. So
Hey, we got you. Marcus, where you at?
I'm at UNC, man. I've been there now 3 years now. But I was at Blue Cross right before I got over there. Yes, sir.
That's what's up. So, man, y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell everybody who you are, where you're from, what you do, etc. and whatnots.
Go ahead, Marcus. You lead it.
Oh, man. What's going on, man? Thank you, Brother Lewis, for having us up here, man. But yeah, man, I'm Marcus Anderson, local here in Raleigh. Man, not much to say, man. These brothers, man, I know them for a long time, man, Deon, I mean, so much to say. I can't, what should I say about myself, man? I got three.
We're not about to be humble, like you ain't got on.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, look, I'm into music, y'all. I mean, I sing. So man, I do gospel music. Right, I'm trying to get like Cam, man, up here, super writer. Yeah, man, love music, love dialoguing. I got my own YouTube channel where I review shoes. So I mean, I'm trying to get on Deon's level with the shoe game.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that one of them episodes, Marcus. I was looking at your little shoe collection. I was like, man, I miss those days. Because the last time I was in the Kicks game was when I was actually living in Durham before I got robbed, before my apartment got I was in a new department when this happened. So y'all didn't know about it, but I got burglarized and they stole all my J's, all my Nikes. They stole all my athletic gear and left my dress clothes. I said, I know it won't nothing but some young knuckleheads. They stole my clothes because they didn't take none of my dress clothes. They left me all my work clothes. They took all my, I had like $1,000 in new clothes that had not been worn. That's what made me mad. That's what really made me mad. Oh, they stole my studio stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I had 2 keyboards, 2 laptops, 2 micro. I had like 2 of everything. I had 2 HD cameras I had just bought because I was gonna start shooting all my own videos. And them bad boys saw me one day carrying something and I knew it was trouble. Like when I seen them, they was hanging around and I got out the car. I was like, why did I do that? Why didn't I just leave that thing in the car and just go inside? Like I had a piece of equipment with me, brought it in. Next thing I know, a few days later, them bad boys, as soon as I left, cleaned me out, bro. Everything. But yeah, my bad. So you got the YouTube channel with the shoe game though.
That's it, man. Yeah, it's Fly Above World. If you ever want to check it out, any folks out there interested in shoes.
Oh yeah, what's the website for you clothes and stuff? Because I know you still designing clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. It's Fly Above Graphics. Well, no, it's flyaboveworld.com. Sorry, flyaboveworld.com. Yep.
Okay. That's what's that. Let me put that a banner up there for you real quick. Flyaboveworld.com. If I can spell tonight.
Thanks. I've been slowing up on the t-shirts though.
Oh really?
So, yeah, man.
There it is. I put it down at the bottom. Anybody, I'm telling you, his graphics are fly too. He's got some nice custom designs, so he can definitely hook you up. I remember, was I the first person to buy something? That Muhammad Ali?
Oh yeah,
that Muhammad Ali shirt.
Yes, sir. You were, man. You did that. You were like one of the first. I think you were the first.
I think I was the first client.
For sure.
Yes.
Crazy, man.
Fire.
That's what's up. What else you got going on, Marcus? Is that all or?
That's it, man. I got 3 little kids that have me running around, man. You know, I got to talk to Deon to get advice for the kids.
Yo, it's so funny, Marcus, to see you as the dad. I promise it is to me. I'm like, Daddy Marcus.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Man.
we can have a whole episode just about kids.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be just y'all too.
Yeah.
My child is grown. She'll be 23. Yeah, my child will be 23 in July. So
Wow, bro, man, time flies. Your baby 23. That's crazy.
Deon, tell us about you, man. What's up with you?
Ain't too much to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Just Deon from the Bull, you know, got 3 kids. Hey, follow my photography page on Instagram, Lyons King Photography. Just
yes, sir.
Ain't nothing professional.
I didn't know you was doing that. I didn't know you was doing photography, bro.
And you know, ain't nothing. I ain't no professional. I'm just raw talent right now. You know what I'm saying? But
okay,
I do my
exploring the game.
But I ain't no rapper, but I can critique y'all rappers. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got Deon on here too, because you know me and Marcus are musicians, but always talk music with Deon. We always talk music. That's the thing. We were supposed to have what was it going to be, like a blog or something we were going to do, but it was going to be called Sophisticated Demographic, and for sure it's going to be soft demo. And we got the graphic. I put it on our Facebook page just so people can see. You know, we used to have a little thing going, but we never got it popping off. I still remember we had a meeting at Shoney's. We had the first meeting at Shoney's. We were serious about that thing. We never got it.
23, we eating at Shoney's, bro. They gonna think we like.
Say what now?
I said, you saying we 23, we eating at Shoney's, bro. Like they gonna think we like 50 years old out this month.
Crazy, man. There's somebody out there like Shoney's. What's the Shoney's? Y'all see? Y'all don't know nothing about it. But anyway, man. So I appreciate y'all being on tonight. It's real good to see y'all. You know, I ain't talked to you. Well, like I said, I talked to Deon a couple months ago, but Marcus, I ain't talked to you in like forever, man. So it's good seeing y'all though. Good to see y'all doing good and whatnot. But tonight, you know, we just really wanted to talk about music, state of music, but mostly this new Kendrick album, because it hit me so. And the reason why I'm doing it is because, like, first of all, Kendrick album, everybody been waiting on it, and it had been 5 years since the last project. And so when it dropped, like, I didn't even know he was going to even put one out. Like, I remember thinking, like, man, when Kendrick gonna drop? But no signs of it. And then all of a sudden, one of my homeboys, Maurice, he posted the Heart Part 5. He was like, oh, that Heart Part 5 came out. Kendrick new album about to drop. I was like, what? Kendrick got a new album? So he dropped the Heart Part 5, and I was like, wow. Just like, I was like, uh-oh, it's going to be crucial. So I knew then, you know, the album was coming. And it was, then my boy told me it was the 13th. And when it dropped and I listened to it, I was door dashing, man. But when I tell you that album literally had me speechless. Like when it was done, I turned the radio off. I was sitting there like, man, what just happened? You know what I'm saying? And I saw where Eminem even said it was ridiculous. And that's how you know. If Eminem says an album, because he don't even be on social media. That's the thing. Eminem don't even be on social media like that. For him to come out the cocoon and just be like, Kendrick, that was ridiculous, you know. And it was, man. And that's kind of what I want to get into. So I guess, you know, the first thing I want to ask y'all is, and y'all can go, you know, whoever y'all want to go first, like, what is this about the album that you really like, you know?
Yo, I'll start out. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'll start off by saying, man, like the first line got me like, I've been going through something. You know what I'm saying? Like when I heard, like, yo, I knew I was in for something. Like this is crazy because, you know, I can relate on a couple fronts. You know what I'm saying? So
that he had the days chronicled though. He was like 1,400 something. Like I was like, you counted?
Facts. Hey, look, and then I think the thing that I like about this album total is like, all right, so past Kendrick albums, you know, Kendrick is always what you would call like a deep rapper, right? But past albums, I felt like Kendrick had the answers. Like he was like our leader through, you know, like all the Black Lives Matter stuff and everything. This album, he didn't have that. Like he was just a man going through something. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was like a confession. So it's like I appreciated that because it's like as a man, like you don't really have all the answers all the time. Like sometimes you're just going through something and you're just stuck in it in the moment and you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to get out. And it's nice to see that another man could be vulnerable and actually release an album to say, yo, I'm through that same stuff, bro. I'm suffering too, and I don't got no, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't got the answers. Like I got money, I got notoriety, I got fame, but I ain't got the answers for you. You know what I'm saying? And then I like the theme of pushing therapy, man. Like that was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Black community where that's kind of frowned upon. Him pushing therapy, bro, and like seeking healing, like, bro, that for me that was just a beautiful theme on this album.
Yeah. And I think I heard somewhere that that's actually what he did was wrote through therapy. So like he was intentional about, I guess, writing either during or after his sessions. So a lot of those songs, from what I understand, are therapy specific.
I didn't even know
what I'm saying.
Tell, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even know that, but you could tell, like you could tell if, like that Father Time practice like straight came after a therapy session, bro. I thought I wrote that joint, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, we're gonna get into specific songs in a second. We're gonna get into the specifics, which ones we like in a minute. What else you like though, Deon? Or did you ready? You was ready to pass the mic?
Yeah, I was ready to pass the mic at that point, you know what I'm saying?
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
Man, I'm just saying, dude, like the timing of this album was crazy, man. That's all I can say. Like this album has been like in a way carrying me through, man, with like all the stuff going on in the media, man, with the shooting and stuff that happened at Tops, man, in Buffalo. Like it just as a Black man specifically, I just felt that he was really speaking to me, like, you know, speaking from like Deon said. I don't want to like say the same thing Deon was saying, but you know, when you hear an album and it's just so transparent, like I feel like you listen to like, I mean, but I love Frank Ocean a lot. Like I feel like a lot of his music was just so deep. Like it just was so personal and relatable in ways, man. And it's, to me, it felt like this album, I mean, he spoke on everything like that Black men go through and have not, like, that just we can't find the words to say it, but he found a way to say it in a weird way, man. It just hit me, man. I play it as almost like a soundtrack for me now. Try to keep me just to keep me calm, man, to keep me from being, you know, anxious out here, man, going to the grocery store and stuff. Like, it's crazy. It's just so weird, bro. The timing of it, man, in a serious way, is just so on time, man, for me. That's all.
Let me ask you this though, and I can speak on this or answer it for myself too. But especially you as a designated Christian artist, how do you think, you know, like you with your intake of this, how do you think, not going to say how people may view it, but what would be your answer to anybody that may come at you like, well, you know, as a Christian, you shouldn't be listening to that type of music. You know what I'm saying? What would be your explanation as to your reason for even consuming it?
Yeah, man. Like, I believe people when they say they believe in God, and then, you know, and pointing out things that's not your savior. Like he has a song on there telling people like all these things and these artists that you look at and you adore. It can happen in the gospel industry too. Right. These folks, we all know people live all sorts of lives. That's not always what they say.
Hello. Okay. Boom. That's a mic drop. That is literally a mic drop right there. Because somebody like, you shouldn't be taking it. It was like, well, at least this person is openly like they are. Whereas you got all these Christian artists that's singing about Jesus, but they life. So their stuff is subliminally going into you. If you want to be that technical about what you're listening to, like
that's exactly
you're getting subliminals when you got a Christian that you know is sleeping around, but he's still doing Christian music. Now he got 100,000 scriptures in the music, but he also got 100 bodies at the hotel. You know what I'm saying? That he been going through per weekend. You know what I'm saying? Or he been sleeping with this dude or whatever, you know, because you know how the Christian community is about that stuff. You know what I mean? 100%. They quick to point the finger or whatever about what this, and this. But it's like, just like even with Kendrick and you going back to Good Kid, Mad City, I am a sinner who probably going to sin again. Lord, forgive me. Whereas a lot of times in the Christian industry, they don't try to paint that face. You know what I'm saying? Well, I will say that recently, gospel music has tried to be more transparent in a lot of ways. They're trying to be more transparent, so that's good in a sense. But at the same time, it doesn't give you a right to point fingers. You feel me?
No, man. And Kanye, I think Kanye exposed that, man, when he came in the industry, man. When he started doing the Christian music, he's like, "Listen, man, you're gonna see me and all my flaws, but I still love God." You know what I'm saying? You know, so
exactly. And they came at him hard. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't like. The Christian community came in hard, like, oh, as soon as a secular artist says he loves God, y'all just fall for it. It was like, that's not what's happening here. This man has truly had some type of experience, and he's trying, you know, and y'all coming for his neck. And when you think about it, it's like trying to beat up a baby because he just came in. You know what I'm saying? Deon, like you got something to say, bro. Like it's right there.
Nah, so when we get into the whole thing about, you know, I'm not like y'all. I'm a baby in this in this walk. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm trying hard. I know Marcus is a respectable man in the Christian world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying hard not to say certain words. You know,
bro, say it, bro.
We here to be real, not for you to have to, you know.
But nah, real talk. Like I never understood that whole thing about Christians and secular music, because I'm like, if you think about it, like Christians flock to see R-rated movies all the time.
All the time.
Like they love to watch shows on Netflix like You. This is literally about a serial killer. I never understood like why you don't keep that same energy for TV and movies that you do for music. Like, what is the difference? It's just literally one is consumed with your eyes and the other is consumed with your ears. Like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, there's pet peeves and there's pet pleasures. You see what I'm saying? And that's how people do. That's
crazy.
How people do. I mean, that's how people do. They will literally have a thing that they keep, that they pet on the head, that's okay to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, well, and then they want to use the I'm not perfect excuse or whatever. But like you said, man, because let me tell you, I had moments during that album, and I'm gonna talk about why I like it, because it opened me up, like you said, Marcus. It's almost prophetic. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what apostle, pastor, whoever would come for me. It was almost prophetic the way he spoke on everything that he spoke on, because it's like he ripped the covers off. You know what I'm saying? He was direct about it, and he was vulnerable. And like you said, Deon, he didn't act like he had no answers. Right. Whereas before he was like, y'all this, that, you know, whatever he was saying, it was like direct. Y'all shouldn't be doing this or whatever.
To be humble.
Then, right, exactly. And then this one was like, one of the songs he was even admitting, like, you know, I can be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I can be judgmental. I can be hypocritical. The same thing I point y'all out for, I'm guilty of. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, excuse me, it really, because he was so open, it's like he opened me up in a way. Like I said, and I'm not the dramatic type, bro. I'm not the excitable type. I'm not the hype type. You know, I met Jerry Rice and Steve Young and didn't even ask for an autograph. I didn't realize that I didn't ask for an autograph till I got back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't. That's just me. I'm not moved easily by anything. So for me to listen to this album and to have to be like, everything need to shut up right now. Like, because I found myself open in some ways, you know what I'm saying, that I hadn't even realized that it was stuff that I hadn't dealt with, that I thought I had dealt with. And then by the end of the album, I was like, I literally was just sitting there like no, I had to catch my breath. That's what got me, bro. I literally turned that album off and was like, physically was like, okay, all right, man, what just happened here? You know? So so that, you know, let's move us on to the next questions. I want us to be song specific now. You know, what particular songs spoke to you and how and what way, you know what I mean? And yeah, go ahead, whoever.
Look, I gotta say, bro, it took me forever. I just kept playing N95 back to back, back to back. Like, I don't know why, because it was like we had just come back. I was telling Cam, man, we had last week called COVID, man. And we had the whole family. We were trying to do a little Myrtle Beach thing, and we had to send the kids with my mom and everything. And so we still went to Myrtle Beach or whatever. We just quarantined, and we like try to cut off everything, like cell phone, everything. Try to just meditate and just kind of just heal and rest. And like we noticed the whole trip we drove, we didn't play no radio, nothing. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have nothing on. We just was talking. And the therapy that just naturally happened by just kind of cutting the world off for a period of time until I heard the heart, man. You know, I turned the heart. That's what I was like, bro, Kendrick is back. So it was the week before last. So, but yeah, I heard that, and I was just like, he was telling people, cut off the iPhone, cut off all these things that constantly feeding into us and giving us like not our own thoughts. Sometimes you find yourself constantly thinking through a whole bunch of stuff, bro. And like, I don't know about you, but like when this whole working from home thing and not being as social as we used to be, you have a lot of time to really like think and sit. Yeah. But then you just like, you can get to me, I got depressed. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I honestly did get depressed because I feed off of being around people, man, and having face-to-face contact. And it was just YouTube playing all the time on my phone. You're working, man. So video after video. All that to say, my mind was cluttered with so much, man. And it caused me to really lose focus for a while. Like, I'm like, man, what is my purpose? Like, am I really like moving forward in my life? Like, I feel like I was on a hamster wheel, man. You know? Yeah. Just by taking that time to just cut off a lot of that stuff, man, as Kendrick was saying, it helped. It healed me, man, you know, for that time. And it helped me just like saying reevaluate. Like you said, after you heard the album, Cam, you had to cut off.
I had to cut off the album. Cut it off.
just to let it sink in, man, because you didn't want nothing else coming in to try to block, you know, the message or whatever. So yeah, man, that's one that stood out. Of course, father time, you know. Yeah. But I'll let Deon speak. As a black man, father time, man. Yeah, bro. That didn't speak to you as a man, period. But you know, specifically as a black man, that's all, man, dude. I got my eyes watered, bro. My eyes watered up on that joke.
Definitely, man.
Wow. Yeah, I can keep going, man. That's my standouts so far.
Before I get into like my tracks that I really rock with, I think I have to say like I was pleasantly surprised by the features on the album, right? Yeah. Because it wasn't Ghostface, bro.
Oh man, spazzed when
I realized that was Ghostface, man. Do you know how hype I got in the car?
Deon, we twins on that, bro.
Yeah.
When I heard Tuda, I was like, is that Iron Man? Bro. Tony Starks.
Tony Starks. Like my 3 weeks ago, I was listening to Ghostface, man. The track he had with Neo, getting that like that. Like that was my joint. The All I Got Is You joint. Of course, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan, so Triumph, you know what I'm saying? Like All of that. I listened to all of that, and I found myself saying like 3 weeks ago, man, like I wish this generation knew how dope Ghostface Killer like really was.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
like for Kendrick to like reach back and grab a legend and put him on there, because if we keeping it all the way gangster, if hip hop wasn't ageist like it is, Ghostface would be running circles around these new rappers. You feel what I'm saying? So
I mean, but this is, man, that goes into one of the things that I think, man, that's gonna answer the last question. So I can't even touch it right now. I don't want to touch it because what you just said is in line with the thought that I've been having because of this. But go ahead with your tracks, man. Go ahead with the tracks.
So the Ghostface feature was dope for me. I love the Kodak Black feature too, right?
Yes.
I know a lot of people like Kodak Black's kind of controversial, you know what I'm saying, from his personal life to just his tactics online. But to me, it was like genius because it's almost like Kodak Black is like the complete opposite of Kendrick Lamar. You feel what I'm saying?
That was Silent Hill. That was my joint too.
Silent Hill, right? And it was
pussy about me like from the gate. I was like, what?
Right, but I wouldn't say I'm a Kodak Black fan, but I don't turn it off if he come on. You know what I'm saying? Like I rock with Super Gremlin, I rock with all that. Like I love it. And even the Summer Walker feature, like that was dope for me. You know what I'm saying? I like to see her in her hip hop R&B bag. But like for my favorite tracks, I gotta say, United in Grief is probably my number one, right?
Okay.
Because like Marcus said, like going through the whole pandemic thing, man, like the pandemic was crazy for me. It's crazy for the world, but for me, you know, like I lost my grandmother during that time. I lost my father during that time. I lost two of my dearest uncles during that time. I lost two cousins during that time. So it's almost like during the pandemic, I felt like it was the pause button was pressed on my grief, right? Because it's like, how dare you grieve? Like the world is in chaos right now. Then you know what I'm saying? You put like Black Lives Matter on top of that. It's like you're suffering, but you're really not allowed to at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too much other stuff you gotta focus on, man. Like you gotta literally like fight to survive right now. You gotta try not to catch COVID. You gotta keep the kids safe. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep the family tight. All of that. So I'm just now getting to the point 2 years later. That's crazy that 2020 was 2 years ago, but I'm just now at the point where I'm starting to unpack the stuff that happened back then. You feel what I'm saying? So that United in Grief, man, that came at a perfect time when you said I went and got me a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, shoot, like I just went and got me a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like so it was like, dang, like bro, like it's some albums that come at certain times in your life that you know like is gonna be pivotal for you when you look back on it and realize what you was going through and what you overcame. To me, that's gonna be one of these albums. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, instant classic.
Facts. But this, I mean, I'll keep it real. I didn't listen to it when it first dropped, even when Cam reached out to me to discuss like possibly doing this show tonight. I was like, all right, you know, I just put it on my to-do list. So I've really, really, really just got into it over the last couple of days.
That's what's up.
But timing is everything because it came at times when I really needed it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I really needed to hear the message. So United in Grief is my favorite. I also like I like Die Hard. So I like up-tempo Kendrick with the drums and you know what I'm saying, and I like the message, you know, I hope I'm not too late to set my demons straight.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Beautiful too though.
And, you know,
it's not too late to set my demons straight. I was like, oh okay. Hey,
that's a powerful line, bro.
It really is.
Me too, man. That line spoke to me too. You know, I'm not gonna discuss everything that I'm going through, but still, it just really like, I'm like, geez, man, like this dude is like peeking in my window or something. You know what I'm saying? And then I like Crown, so I'm normally like a beat guy. Like I like the 808s and all that.
I like Crown too.
Crown didn't have a beat at all. It was kind of like it sounded like an 808 and Heartbreaks type track, right? But the message in it was
What you call it sounded like a what's that one track that sounded like a straight up Kanye beat? Was it Was it Crown? No, Count Me Out.
It was Count Me Out.
Count Me Out sounded straight out of Kanye's repertoire.
Yeah.
Straight out of it, man.
Can I be honest? Like this Kendrick album is kind of what I expected from Kanye recently. You know, I think like, Kanye is a genius. Kanye is dope, but sometimes Kanye can give you too much Kanye, and you be like, "Hey, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you way over there. Like, bring it back to the middle of the road so that the people." I think one of the things that musicians can sometimes do is become selfish with their art, and they just focus on what sounds good to them sonically, and they're not thinking about, all right, I gotta sell this. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up, because you gave me two thoughts just in that. Now, one, yes, I agree. Kendrick gave us what I thought Kanye was going to give us, especially with the spiritual transition that he went through. However, when looking back, I see the difference. Kanye made the change and went straight to the mic. Kendrick took 5 years to put nothing out, except for the couple features on Baby King. Kendrick took 5 years to be quiet. Like he said in one of the songs, that he was dealing with his stuff in the valley of, he was fighting for his soul in the valley of silence. He was keeping his soul in the valley of silence. So you see, that's why Kendrick's was able to be like just deadly accurate. Because he literally took the time to shut up, and not only shut up, but deal with this stuff. Kanye has not taken the time to get help.
I mean, he's dealing with it, but he's dealing with it out loud. You know
exactly. What I'm saying? But see, that's the thing, though. It looks more like implosion than a cry for help. You see what I'm saying? It just looked like, yeah, Kanye crazy, man. You know what I mean?
Emotional rant almost. That's live.
Exactly. Exactly. But that's what it is. Like, that's the major difference. Kanye did not take the time to process, to heal. He just went from spiritual dynamic and emotional dynamic to the next, and then in the process got a divorce. That doesn't help. You see what I'm saying? That's why you putting out lines talking about you think God saved you to beat up Pete Davidson. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? You know, whereas like I said, Kendrick took 5 years and he dropped and shook the whole industry with this.
This is what Jay Electronica should have did, man. This is what Jay Electronica's album.
No, Jay Electronica should have dropped the album at some point.
His album was such a disappointment. He took so long, bro, to marinate, man. And just,
he wasn't marinating. I don't think he was marinating but see, Kendrick was marinating to heal. I don't even know what was going on with Jay Electronica.
He just was doing random stuff, man. Anyway,
another last track that almost triggered me was the "We Cry Together" joint, right? And I know, like, in the Twitter world, a lot of people didn't really like it because they thought it glorified toxic relationships. But I mean, unless you really not going. But I think the last line got me to stop when he said stop dancing around the conversation.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. You hit it. It's not. It can't glorify. It can't be glorifying that if at the end he tells you stop tap dancing. That you hit it, Deon. You hit it right on the head.
It's crazy, and it put it all. I love when you like. It feels like he's going like off center. You're like, oh man, what is this track? Like they just arguing, they cursing, and they, you know what I'm saying? Like they doing all this crazy stuff, and then he like ties it up with a bow at the end, like stop tap dancing around the conversation, like boom. You know what I'm saying? Now you got your message in there. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Yeah, fire.
That's yours. That's yours.
That's it.
Is you finished or is you done? Like Birdman.
Have Rich Spirit in there, man. Rich Spirit.
Oh man, come on, buddy. I can't mess with you, girl. I'm fasting.
Fasting.
I'm attracted.
Is that the
Yo? That hit me so hard, bro. That was like a rebuke for me. I was like, ugh.
Is that the joke? Something like cancel culture is not a real thing. I'm like Oprah say what I want about you niggas. Is that that's not the joint?
No. I don't think that's the one. This the one where he was like,
he was saying he's attractive.
He's like, I'm attractive. Can't F with you, girl. I'm fasting. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm attractive. Like that one. Like It was just talking about purifying yourself.
Taking time.
You know what I mean? You know what, like, oh man. So my tracks. Let's go over here to let me just look at the list to make sure I get stuff right. Okay, first of all, Deon just really, that was one of my first ones. Not first ones, but it was one of my favorites. We Cry Together. And it's like it jumped out at me when I heard what was going on. Because at first I didn't even know it was a song. And then I started hearing rhyme patterns. I was like, oh snap, he's rapping. Then the girl came in, I was like, oh, what? They arguing. You know, so it was just like, wow. So you see them going back and forth, but it's not only an argument, but in the argument, they speak on so many different issues within the argument that are plaguing relationships now. He talks about toxic masculinity. It talks about, what he calls fake feminism. You know what I'm saying? He started talking about how in the sexual relationships, how the women are faking, you know what I'm saying, and and lying to the men to boost their ego, but the man is like, well, you liked it anyway, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and then pulls out her insecurities, and it shows how the biggest draw for me was that, or what made it so powerful to me was he really depicted how flawed we are in our relationships. And how low we go just to be right when both of us are in the wrong.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because everything they pointed out was low blows. It was so many low blows in that song. You just like, oh man. Oh, he said that. She said what? But at the same time, y'all both wrong. But this is how relationships are. Everybody goes low to try to get the upper hand. Does that even make sense? Going low to get the upper hand, how you do that?
Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But that's why he said stop tap dancing around the issue. And to me, the real issue isn't the stuff we arguing about, it's our inability to humble ourselves in order to accommodate our spouses, or our inability to censor ourselves to be respectful. Because that's what was lacking in the whole entire song. You know what I mean? Nobody really addressed issues. They just let their feelings out. It was all about how I feel. Well, you did this. Well, you do that. You know, and at the end, nothing was resolved. And here's the for me, even whether he knew this or not, this is what I see. And then even the conclusion of the song, how the climax of the song and the finish was the song was literally, well, let's just be more sexually involved.
Facts.
Which in essence is still a part of the problem, because it adds to why we got all these single moms out here. How is that happening? Bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't have family. How do you have so many single parent homes? Because you got the issues that they discuss throughout the song that never get resolved. But all you can think to do is, well, once we calm down, well, come here, girl. Like you might look at her or whatever, and then your result is let's have sex about it to end it. But that doesn't resolve anything. And like he said, like Deon said, the bow tie on the end was stop tap dancing around the issue. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that song, and it's like having been in dysfunctional relationships, you know what I'm saying? And there was points where I was like, I remember this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember this. I'd had this argument right here. I had this argument right here. I've been through that. And so it really woke me up, because I was in like the first few tracks. I was just like, man, he is going in. But for some reason, that was the first real trigger. Like,
definitely.
Oh, sir. It was my first trigger in the album. Like I said, everything was just dope. I was like, Kendrick is laying it down lyrically on all these songs. He's hitting hard. But that We Cry Together, for some reason, had me like, oh, it just got real. It just got real in here. You know, so, and then there was, let's see, whichever one spoke. Rich Spirit, like I said, it felt like a whooping for me. Just a hook where he was saying, I'm attractive. I can't mess with you. I'm fasting. You know what I mean? And it's like, it just, you know how sometimes in my life, I have gotten, instead of dealing with my wounds and sitting and taking time with myself, I just would involve myself with people. You know what I'm saying? Involve myself with a female and not just value who I am. And it also reminded me of a friend I got. I don't know if he's watching. His name is Andre. Andre Wilkerson. I met him when I first moved back to Carolina last year. And he was talking in that same vein. He was just like, I can't give myself to any woman. I'm attractive. He literally was like, I'm attractive. I'm anointed. I'm too good for that. Like, I'm too good to just be passing myself. And to, it's one thing to hear the sermon from the pulpit or whatever, but it's another thing to see somebody that you like and respect, and you see the swag, you know what I mean, that they have. You see how they live in their life, and you hear them talk about how they're getting clarity by not doing what we're encouraged to do, which is be a player. Because listen to the music. I mean, the music is out there. All the music talks about, I'm going to hit this girl. I'm going to smash that girl. This girl ain't this. This girl ain't that. All the rappers talking like that. Now, the only other person who said anything similar to that recently was J. Cole in the off-season joint, where I forgot which song it was, but he was just talking about, I realized I'm the one that, I was a whore too. But he stopped. He was like he chilled with that. Now, that's the only person I heard say anything like that recently. And then Kendrick came back out, and Kendrick was just like, yo, I can't even mess with you. I'm fasted. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, for somebody to take a stand like that in this industry, you see what I'm saying? And did you hear him talking, other than his confessions of his wrongs about sexual escapades? You didn't hear him objectifying women like he has done before. You see what I'm saying? Like, he was totally different. He took a totally different stance when it came to talking about women. He was like checking himself. And most of the time when he talked about his sexual escapades, it was to snitch on himself, basically.
It was a lot. He
said what? I'm sorry, what? Accountability?
Yeah, there was a lot of accountability on his part in this album.
Exactly. And he even, in certain songs talked about how it contributes to the problems that we have in society. And that's, you know what I mean? Like, and like I said, it was a slap to the face to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got to keep like a mindset that I need to keep as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So for men in general, yeah, just protecting your energy, man. Protecting your energy. That NoFap has been so popular online.
Exactly.
NoFap. But yeah, to hear him talk about that and the benefit of it, man, I think it's healthy for any man.
It's interesting to see the different songs that we pick, because the last two that I'm about to say, y'all didn't say, so I'm glad. And I figured it was gonna go like this. I really did. But and I kind of want to go in reverse order with them. Mother Sober. That one was also a good, but I literally had tears welling up and a tickle in the throat at the end of that. Because he was talking about how he didn't defend his mom and whatnot, but it was the hook for me when he was just basically talking about what did he say in the hook? Oh yeah, he kept saying how you never dealt with grief until you deal with it sober. Now, as somebody that has struggled with alcoholism in my life, that punched me in the face too, because it was like, then I had to look at myself like, when have I dealt with, and I'm just being honest, when have I haven't dealt with the stress and things that were depressing me in my life without alcohol really yet. There was a season where it was prayer and fasting and all that, but it's when I got out of the stuff I was in, it was like, you know what, I'm leaving it, I'm doing what I want to do. Everything I felt restricted from for the past 5.5, 6 years, whatever. It is what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? And so, but when he said that line, he's like, you haven't felt grief until you dealt with it sober. And I was like, I literally had to go back and be like, when have you dealt with trauma in your life in a sober fashion?
Wow.
And because I couldn't remember a time where I really did that, it hit hard. I was like, I haven't really dealt with it. I talked about it in my drunkenness or in my depression, but I haven't really just taken the time to like he said in N95, turn off everything and be sober and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that had me And so more recently, I've been like trying to make more efforts to be like, talk to yourself about this stuff. You got to deal with it. And I even had another friend that I had on the previous podcast episode that I'm getting ready, edit and release that too. That was one of the things she was telling me. She was like, she went through a period where she literally just had to deal with herself. And that's what that song did for me. It's like it kind of really triggered me. Like, you haven't really dealt with yourself like you need to in order to, one, get healing, and then two, discover yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really find yourself, discover yourself, and be yourself, hiding behind the mask of how you think you should deal with stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we'll deal with stuff how we can deal with it just to get by, but won't take the necessary steps to truly elevate. And we're not called to get by. We need to elevate. You know what I'm saying? So that just, it wasn't even the whole thing. And it was the girl singing the hook too. And the other thing, I wish I could be anybody other than me. Like, yo, that smacked me in the face too. That line had me like, yo, this is me. Like looking at other people's lives and being like, I wish I had it like that. I wish I had it like this. And then dealing with the dichotomy of, and the irony of people looking at me being like, yo, if I had your talent, I'll be whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop. And that's the other thing, which brings to what I feel like this album did for me too, because Kendrick did something that I was going to do with my music anyway, which is he forced, and I saw this magazine say, it's like he forced the game to deal with him for who he is by his musical selections, by having all these beats that weren't beats, by having all these musical tracks with no drums. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, I'm in the process of music I'm making music all over the place. I got an R&B single that just released. I produced for another chick. I got a woman out of Pennsylvania. I produced we recorded in Virginia. I produced a Christian track for her. I got some R&B stuff coming. You know what I'm saying? For my own stuff. I got a jazz singer that I'm about to work. Like, don't try to put me in no box. Don't try to get accustomed to what you hear or what you think you should be hearing. And that's what Kendrick did. Like, he took this album and was like, you've been waiting on me 5 years. Well, if you got to like it for what it is or you don't. And that's why he's been getting this mixed review of like people being like, oh, it was trash. No, you thought he was going to get another album like damn. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I think people rock with Good Kid, Mad City. I think they liked To Pimp a Butterfly, but it was so varied with the jazz and all that other stuff. People was like, what's this weirdness? And then Damn was like, okay, Kendrick is finally with the vibe. This is the Kendrick we've been wanting to hear. And then he come out with this, and it's like, they like, ain't no drums. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did so much that was just like a poot in the face to everybody. Like, this is what it was like, except me for me. And that's kind of what, like, don't put a box on nobody. That's why this man is the first rapper to win a Pulitzer. And he gonna get another one for this. He definitely, if he got a Pulitzer for Damn, he gonna get a Pulitzer for this right here. Because this was a whole movie. You feel me? Like, this was completely a work of art. This was like so eye-opening. And then I'm gonna get to my last song, Auntie Diaries. Auntie Diaries, not for personal reasons, but as somebody who came up in the church and saw this, and time I remember, and there was like time I spent in a church when I was in Pennsylvania, and I'll never forget. It was this homosexual guy at the altar on his hands and knees, wailing at the altar, just like he just was crying out so hard, and nobody went down there to pray for him. So I ran down there and I just threw my arms around him and prayed with him as he was praying. And I remember the looks I got, like,
come on, bro.
What is he doing? What is he doing? But it's like, this guy's a human being.
Yeah.
He's crying because obviously he's being tortured by something.
Yeah.
But y'all so homophobic that you won't even pray with the dude.
Come on, bro. This is good.
You
bro.
feel me?
Come on.
You
man.
so scared of what it may look like to touch a homosexual man that you won't even pray with the dude as you can't be human enough to abase yourself and go pray with the dude. That rocked me to the core when I saw that. And like I said, I ran down there and prayed with that brother. You feel me? Because even though I don't understand the mindset, I also don't understand the pain either. But I have empathy. You see what I'm saying? So to hear Kendrick, it's like he walked me through what I thought about the same thing. You have when you were younger, you had these immature conceptions of what homosexuality was. It was funny. And you know how he said in the song, faggot, 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 did that. But he wasn't doing it to be derogatory. He was doing it to show the immaturity. You can hear, he was saying it, if you're paying attention, it's like he was saying it in a remorseful tone. And that's a big issue today because we're dealing with it every day. Like you can't go anywhere without seeing it, you know what I'm saying, without hearing something about it. So for him as a black man and a black rapper to directly address with that, one, I applaud him. But it was jarring, like I said, because I seen it myself. And then you see the progression, not only progression lyrically, but the music. That's the other thing that made it so powerful. Like you hear the musical buildup as he's getting louder and louder throughout the track. So it made it, the message was powerful enough, but he put the music behind it to really drive it home and open you up. You know what I'm saying? And for me, just like, I don't know why that track hit me so hard, but it did. It was just like, and maybe it was the humility that it took to write it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is. The humility it took for him to talk about how, you know, I was this dude that picked at him too, but I love my aunt / uncle, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I love this person enough to, like, you know, I appreciated them for all they did. And then at the end, like, you know, how he was like, you know, where you can call, the auntie was like, you can call me a faggot if you would let another white girl get on stage and say the N-word. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, so it's like it almost ends in this, I don't want to call it a riddle, but it's just like, you know, it just shows like, it shows how it's messed up on both sides. Racism, homophobia, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Either way, there's an issue that needs to be addressed, but it has to be addressed with kindness. You know what I'm saying? It can't be addressed. It can't be addressed with hatred. Can't be addressed with judgment. It has to be addressed with empathy. And that's what I took from that. You know what I'm saying? And it was powerful to me because, I mean, when you look at the homosexual community, a lot of them committing suicide. Mm-hmm. They people too. You know what I'm saying? They are people too. And that's their whole thing. That's why they're so loud in their calls, because they're not heard. They're just judged. And you know what I'm saying? And I know family members dealing with that. So and I think that's the other thing. I got family members that I'm close with that are lesbian, that are homosexual. And it's like, and then, you know, you grew up in the church and you got this belief of how it's supposed to be. But at the same time, even though I believe what the Bible says, at the same time, I also do not agree with the church's treatment. So it makes it like, I don't agree with many people's treatment, period. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, that's one of my songs. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, just props to Kendrick for like paying attention to like hip hop legends, man. You can tell he paid attention to Jay-Z, because, you know, Jay-Z shared some transparent information about his mom. You know what I'm saying? Yep. 444 album. And then back to your point on like Kendrick focusing more on the content more than just the beats and the drums. Right. Like he took a lot of tips from Nas on that. Like Nas on his beginning, you know, Nas is more of a content person, man. And he always caught flack for his beats, you know, being like lackluster. But he's like, you know, the point, I really want you to hear the content of what I'm trying to say. All I have to say, man, on your points, that Kendrick he honored the greats. You know what I'm saying? With these. Yep.
Yeah, man, it was. Go ahead, Deon. My bad.
Nah, I was about to say, you know, I'm just glad that Kendrick when Kendrick drops, like the world pays attention. You feel what I'm saying? And so I'm glad that it was one of those albums where he wasn't focused on trying to get on the radio, trying to make a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, nah, real stuff to talk about. And I'm gonna lead these dudes in another direction. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna force black men in particular to deal with their demons, deal with themselves, seek therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like try to get healing, deal with their past traumas. Like that's beautiful to me, and to me because it's in the forefront now. You know what I'm saying? Like these discussions on Twitter are happening as a result of this album. You know what I'm saying? Like I even saw like I don't know if it was a result of the album, but I saw people discussing it in relation to the album. A video of D. Ray Davis like admitting about like past sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying? From his mom's friend. Wow. They're all tied in. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. So I'm glad like black men in particular like it's almost like he gave us permission to deal with our issues. We ain't got to deal with it in private no more. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, right. And you spoke to basically the last question is what impact do you think the album has going to have on society, on the music game or whatever. So yeah, that was perfect segue. You know what I'm saying? Marcus, what do you think the album, as we're wrapping up here, what impact do you think the album's had or going to have?
I think it's just going to cause people to a different standard, man, when they bring out content. And you know, Kanye, I keep going back to Kanye because Kanye, even though like people say like, dang, he can get too emotional or whatever, but like whenever he sets something like a trend or whatever, people try to follow it in all genres. Like it's so crazy. Exactly. And this was needed. Like, you know, I love rap. You know, I listened to Pusha T's album. You know, I thought it was cool, but it was like, man. But I felt like I needed something from music, and I just didn't get it from that album. It just was something cool to vibe to.
Well, you are not gonna never get nothing but cocaine from Pusha T, bro. You're not gonna never get nothing but cocaine from Pusha T. And some cool beats and some crazy metaphors. You know what I'm saying? And you know he gonna come with got the skills. You can't question Pusha T's skills. But you also know you're not gonna get nothing but cocaine. Nothing but cocaine. I don't know what you thought you was gonna get from him, unless you thought you was Tyrone Biggums. You know what I'm saying? I want some crack.
That's motivation to some people, man. Hey, look, listen to Pusha T make me want to go get some money, man.
Right.
That's true. Hey, that's true. I'm gonna tell you why. I ain't never sold drugs. No, Hov did that. So hopefully I ain't had to go through that. But listen though, real talk though, I'm glad you said that because when I tell you in the year 2002, 2003, after my one of my first fiance, my first fiance, we had broken up. I was going through it emotionally, bruh. I was listening exactly, bro. I got like three. Look, I got three ex-fiancés and 2 ex-wives, and none of my wives were ever my fiance. I just married them, so that's 5 women. Anyway, anyway, you were talking about how you talking about the motivation for people. They may not go sell drugs, but they want to go get money. That's what the Blueprint 1 did for me. In 2002, 2003, I would listen to. I had 3 jobs, brother. I was working at Starbucks. I had a little part-time, a little temp gig at Lanham Therapy, helping out with the chiropractor's office. Like I was setting up for when the clients came in. I did some desk work. I did some X-ray technician work, and then I also had a job at the Cambridge Apartments on 13th in Pennsylvania, downtown DC, Northwest. Nighttime receptionist, graveyard shift on the weekend. That was my soundtrack to hustling. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't selling no drugs, but I was out there. Hey, who got 3 jobs? I'm Jamaican out here, boy. I'm the bus driver. You know, that was me though. So I feel you on that. Like sometimes music doesn't have to. The message is not gonna always directly cause you to do what the message says. It just may motivate you in another way to use what you do to get what you want. You feel me? And that's like so you made a very valid point with that. But yeah, Marcus, I'm sorry. He made such a valid point. I had to go down that road.
Nah, you're right. I just feel this album is just like, it's just for artists that's coming after this, man. It's gonna just,
especially rappers.
Yeah, rappers, bro. I think, yeah, like Big Sean, all these folks got quite a task. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And here's the thing, because I remember when Cole dropped, I was like, ooh, what Kendrick gonna do now? Yeah. And what was it, like 2 years afterwards? Has it been 2 years since
the Cole drop last?
Was it 2020 or last year? Okay, 2021. So Cole dropped, and I was like, ooh, it's getting serious. Then Nas dropped King's Disease 2, and that was all I listened to for like 2 months.
Yes, sir.
I ain't listened to nothing else for 2 months. It was King's Disease 2. Yes, I was like, this is insane. And then he dropped another one at the end of the year, which I only like 3 tracks on it, 3 or 4 tracks out of 7. So it was okay, but the ones that was hot. So I still was like, okay, hip hop is really changing. What Kendrick gonna do? Man, Kendrick dropped this, and it's like all doubts was erased. Everybody's project was obliterated. That's like, Nas, nice try. You know what I'm saying? I still love KD2, but it's like, I don't even know if he want to drop King's Disease 3 now. Like, you know what I'm saying? J. Cole probably like, I just put my best foot forward. Nah, I don't know. Nah, J. Cole probably gonna compete, but still, you gotta feel like, because even for me, when that album was over too, I was sitting here like, and I'm rapping for what? Like, I'm sitting here like, I got to, bro, you can't listen to that album and then just be, and then like, I think I'm good lyrically. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm good with making beats and stuff. But he did kind of do musically kind of some stuff that I want to do. Because if I play some of the beats that I had that I made even before I heard this, it's kind of in that vein. Like, I got this one beat that's just like these really upbeat drums and a piano. Mm-hmm. And I forgot the hook that I got for it, but I already recorded the hook in my phone of how I wanted to go. But it's just like so not hip hop rap, but it's what sent me, because I like jazz, I like bebop. You know what I'm saying? I like that type of stuff. So when he dropped this album, it made me be like, dang, what am I doing? But it also had me be like, dang, I need to step it up. And it also was like, dang, I can do this stuff that I felt like I couldn't do before. Because Kendrick did it. Kendrick has opened the door for me to do all this. And hey, tell me you couldn't hear an Andre 3000 collab on pretty much every track on here, bro.
I was thinking the whole time, and I was actually looking, because Andre 3000 is notorious for like just sneaking up on the album, like it don't have nowhere.
Exactly.
I was actually waiting for that to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, because I was sitting there, I was like, man, Andre 3000 would have been cold on every single track. Like, that could have been an Andre and Kendrick collab album, and that junk would have. Actually, that junk probably would have shut the internet down.
I wouldn't even be mad if something pop out in the deluxe version later on.
Like same thing with Kanye.
That would be crazy, bro.
Andre.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
but that's
that album.
That's the impact I think it had. Like, I really, like you said, I just feel like rappers gonna have to reconsider.
Yeah.
Either you're gonna have to either reconsider or remain ignorant. That's the thing.
Just be yourself.
Because it's like,
hey, look,
you can't hear that album as a rapper in the industry.
Like,
either be inspired, feel corrected, or just be like, I'm gonna remain ignorant. Like, that's all you got, and it's like you got to take it's like a paradigm shift. Like, make a stand. What you gonna do with your music? That's how I feel about it. Like, I can't come. Like, I feel like I got to step everything up, even though. I feel like I'm decent, but I feel like I got to step all my beats up. I got to step my production and mixing and all that up. I got to step my lyricism up. I got to step my creativity up. All of that because of hearing this album. It's a standard for me. And I might not ever meet that standard, but I'm not gonna come out here and put something out not trying to reach. You see what I'm saying? For that type of excellent depth of content. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like the direction I wanted to go anyway. You know what I'm saying?
It's on. Like, you ain't seen many albums like this since Cole. To me, since Busta Rhymes, Extinction Level event.
Oh man, the first Extinction Level event. Well, actually, the last one he put out a couple years ago was woo, with especially the joint where Farrakhan was talking before he came. Oh my goodness!
Album. Busta's last album, I don't remember the name of it, but I think he had an album that dropped like during the pandemic. That was
the ELE. The ELE too.
Okay,
yeah. That ELE too was crazy, because he got a little political with his too, and it was like, and when he did, he was crushing it. You know what I'm saying? He won't pull it and he, matter of fact though, I wonder if Kendrick took cues from the song that Busta had. Because Busta had a song where he was kind of going back and actually it was like, because he had Rhapsody on there.
Yeah.
Because Rhapsody was the baby mama. And then Busta came behind. So I feel like he took cues from that. But he did a whole nother different thing, because Rhapsody had a verse, Busta had his, but they went back and forth like an argument.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, because Extinction Level Event 2 was. It was serious. It was definitely serious.
And again, that We Cry Together joint, it was reminiscent of I don't know if y'all remember the Biggie Life After Death album, but the joint he had with Lil' Kim called Another, and they were literally like arguing throughout the song. And if
I have to go back and listen to it, but I know I heard it. I heard it several times.
But like some of the like documentaries, they said that they were actually arguing in the studio when they made the track, and they just rapped it on the song. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's amazing.
It's definitely a prelude that We Cry Together, if you will. Of course, it's Biggie and Lil' Kim, so we ain't getting no profound message in there.
Wow. And see, that's the thing. It's nothing new under the sun.
Facts.
That's just that would be a good homework. This would be a good homework assignment for a part 2, for us to listen to all the album again, right? And go back and find every song that Kendrick could have possibly pulled from to create.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. That song I mentioned that I said sounds just like a Kanye joint. He had to. If Kanye didn't produce that, Kanye was on his mind. Where is that? Is it Crown? No, Count Me Out. Bruh. Count Me Out is a Kanye joint featuring only Kendrick Lamar. I'm telling you.
With the choir.
He had even the instrumentation and the way it was composed. That sound like I literally was waiting for Kanye to come on the whole song. I thought Kanye was about to pop up on that song, and he never appeared. But I was like, but that's a Kanye beat though, bro. Yeah, that is a Kanye track, man. Yes, you know what I'm saying? But yo, it's been good talking to y'all, man. So good to see y'all.
Good to see y'all, man.
I don't think we could even do justice to discussing everything. I saw what's his name, Anthony Fontaine. I forgot what his nickname is, but I saw his review and it was so thorough. I was just like, my gosh. Like he went through every track though, like literally talked about the nuances of it, what people loved and hated about it, the influences. He went through everything. It was like 26, 27 minutes. But he was so thorough. I was like, man, let me turn this off because I don't want it to interfere with the natural conversation I'm trying to have with my bros tonight, So, hey, man, I really.
Yo, we got to do this again, man.
Gotta get some lunch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to end the broadcast, but we'll still be in the studio, so we can still talk for a little bit afterwards, all right?
Right.
Cool, man.
All right, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I saw people coming in and out. Appreciate everybody listening. I hope you got something to value from it. I hope you enjoyed it. And this will be on the actual podcast website. I have like 3 episodes that I recently recorded. So I'm back on my podcast game, and then I got one more coming after that. But yeah, so I'll let you guys know when it's available on the website. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
All right.